one of the most recognized personalities in world skiing. Just a few months after retiring, she was honored with a reward from the Spanish royal family. Lindsey Vonn has become, over a prestigious career, one of the greatest skiers in the world. She is the most decorated female ski racer of all time. She has just received in Oviedo the Princess of Asturias Award for Sports, and we welcome her here on Euronews. Lindsey Vonn, thank you for being with us.
Gracias.
What's the significance of this award for you among all the awards that you have received during your career?
I think this award is probably the most global, even though it's just here in Spain. I feel like it represents so much more about me as a person, and it's not just about sports, but how I'm trying to help the future with my foundation. So it's very, very meaningful and very impactful also to be among the other laureates. They are all doing incredible things for the world and for the future, and it's truly an honor to be a recipient.
Last February, you announced your retirement. You faced plenty of obstacles on your way to the top, suffering many injuries, too many injuries. And when you announced your retirement, you said, "My body is screaming me to stop." How is it hard for you to be out of the competitions?
I knew it was coming eventually, but when it actually happens, it's difficult. You know, I've been doing this my entire life, been a professional athlete for 20 years, and I was very proud of what I accomplished in my career, but I had too many injuries, and I realized that there is a life after skiing, and there's a lot of opportunities now, but I just have to find a new path and a new passion, and I'm looking forward to this new adventure.
Do you regret this decision to quit now?
I didn't really have a choice. I mean, you know, my body said that that was enough, and, you know, I'm crazy, but not that crazy to keep going. You know, I know my limits, and I definitely reached my limit, so it was time to move on.
What's your biggest regret? Something that you couldn't achieve and you wanted to in your career?
I mean, my biggest regret is not breaking the World Cup record. You know, Ingemar Stenmark has 86 wins and I have 82. I have to keep things in perspective, you know. I think you can always look back and say, what if, but if you keep asking that question, you'll drive yourself crazy.
And what about the fact that they denied to you to compete against men?
I think that was probably one of the most frustrating things besides not breaking the record. You know, I really wanted to compete against the men because they are faster than the women, and I wanted to improve myself. You know, it wasn't men against women, it was just men were better, and I wanted to race against the best.
What's the best memory of your incredible career?
I think the best memory of my career is winning the Olympics in 2010. Because I think it was so much more than just the Olympics for me. It was for my family. You know, my family had sacrificed so much for me to be there, and that win was for all of us.
What do you think you left as a legacy to the alpine skiing and to sports in general?
I hope that I leave a legacy that you can be more than just a skier. You know, I think in my career a lot of people were very skeptical of who I was, and you know that I like to do media, and I think it's helpful for the sport, and I'm very open and honest, and that wasn't the traditional way. So I feel like you can be yourself, and you can still be feminine, you can still be an athlete, and you can be all of those things at the same time.
From your point of view, how did women's alpine skiing change during the years?
I think women's ski racing changed a lot over the course of my career. You know, it was more conservative when I started, and when I finished, you know, the women's circuit was more watched than the men's. And that's huge. That was huge progress.
And speaking about a sensitive topic, such as gender pay gap, we can say that skiing, it's one of the few sports that award equal prize money for both male and female athletes.
Yeah.
But there's still a long way to go in sports in general. What do you think could be a solution?
Sharing the revenue of advertising with the athletes would be one thing that's interesting. if you look at the women's soccer team, they had far more viewers than the men's World Cup. But none of the women saw any of those profits. Or if they did, it was maybe 2 or 3 of the women from the entire team. So I think there needs to be a way to share what other companies are making off of the athletes. And also it'll give them more of a feeling of community, and they'll want to improve the sport in other ways. It'll bring people together.
This new season of the World Cup is going to be the first one without 2 legends at the starting gate.
3.
Yourself, yeah.
Axel, Marcel,
yeah.
and myself.
Yeah, it's true, 3 of them, actually. So how is it going to be?
I think that you'll see new stars come out. You know, every year there's new athletes that are on the podium. Last year there was Alice Robinson from New Zealand who was on the podium, and she's only 16 years old. So there's always somebody new, but I think Michaela Schifrin is obviously going to be the person on the World Cup, and it's great that that's an American. So I hope that she continues to succeed, and it's going to be interesting to see what other women and men come into the spotlight as well.
And do you think she can overcome you winning more than 82 races?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's only, 24 years old, and she already has 60 wins. So the only thing she needs to think about now is just staying healthy. And that was my problem, you know, during my career. So ski racing is unfortunately a very fickle sport, and things can happen very quickly. But I think that she's going to break it very easily, and she'll go on to break Ingemar's record as well.
So going back to your life after the retirement, what have you done in these months?
A lot. I'm working on finishing my memoir. I'm starting my own beauty line for active people. And I'm executive producing a movie. So there's a lot of things going on. And I'm also engaged. I'm trying to plan a wedding. I don't even know when we're getting married or where we're getting married, but it's a very exciting time for me. Some days I miss skiing, some days I feel a little bit lost, but I think in general I'm in a good place, and I'm looking forward to all of the new opportunities.
Thank you so much, Lindsey, for being with us.
Gracias.
Thank you.